What's going on, guys? Just gonna be going over like a guide slash a walkthrough, not necessarily an install guide, just pointing you on how to install inlets. I used to have a video not too long ago that was a full like tutorial. I had music playing in the background, got copyrighted, then it saved the video. It is what it is, can't do anything about it, but I'm gonna try my best to point you guys in direction since there's not much info out there on you like video wise in the forums, but none of them really like give you like that presence of like where to look. The one tool you definitely need. Other tools, kind of forgot exactly the tools I use, but it's like really common stuff. It's like 10 mils and stuff like that, but I'll go ahead and show you guys. Don't mind my mess. This is fresh from the taillight install and I just haven't got around to cleaning it, but then I got my fresh Red Bull right here. So the one tool you definitely need is this right here. Got it from Harbor Freight. It's a double joint needle nose plier. I believe there's 15 mil, 10 mils, various sizes, basic socket wrenches. You don't need anything too insane. I think the bolts are like on the inlets themselves are like a 10 mil. And then the bolts that come with the upgraded inlets are, I want to say they're like a star bit or a hex bit. And that, it's been a minute since I've installed mine. I don't necessarily remember all the tools. As you can tell, they're already imbalanced because look at that. I'm sure their width on the inside is the same, just different shapes, so it might not be an imbalance. My God, look at that. Get it in the light. Sheesh, that's how they come. I didn't do nothing to it. Obviously, like the webs and shit, that's from being off, but that rough material in there, that's how they come. That is insane. That definitely disrupts airflow really bad. This thing is tiny as well. Same one on this one. So with the ported ones, I already have them on the car, but if you look at the pictures, like this whole inside right here is all the way. It's big as shit, smooth, 10 times better. And that's why they work so damn good. These shits are junk. That is junk. Those are junk. But anyways, I'll show you guys why you need these pliers right here. So I'm gonna use it as my pointer as well for the video. Jack the car up, front left side and front right side. High as you can get it. Silver belly pan thing, like the strut pan thing, right next to where you do like oil changes, the oil filter. Drop that whole pan. There's bolts. You'll see them. It's super easy. Drop all those bolts. Pan will drop like that, right? Because you drop the bolts. Up in the front right here, there's like a hook. All you do is just get over the hook, slide it off. Before you start this install, you definitely want to disconnect your battery because you're going to be messing with your alternator and stuff like that. These pliers right here, right? So down in here, yep, right down in here. When you're looking in there, it's a little hard to tell on the camera, but when you're doing this install, there's a spacer right, literally straight down. It's like right down here somewhere. So what these do, so on this side, what you need to do, the reason why I had you pick up the car and drop that pan, there's a bolt on the back of the AC compressor. So you take off your intake, take it all the way off. To take the belt off, all you gotta do is stick a 1/2 inch drive in right here, flex it, pull the belt off. Compressor, there's 2 bolts there, and I believe there's one like right here. I think it's these 2 or these 2, and take off those front 2, and then there's a back bolt down here. When you're underneath the car and you have that pan dropped, you'll see it. It's so easy to get to. Pop those bolts off. The AC compressors, you don't have to take off none of these hard lines. You just move the AC compressor forward, and there's a spacer on that back bolt, right? Non-metallic. It's just like a long-ass tube, basically. I'd say it's about like the distance of that top joint to the tip of the fucking plier right there. So that spacer will come out, and all it is just mashed against the block and then to the compressor where the bolt slides through. Move it forward. Once it's forward, you can see the inlet really easy. Hit all those bolts, pop the inlet off, put your new inlet on. I use the ported inlet, so I put the gasket maker on the inlet itself and then put it on there. I bolted it. Hand tight those bolts. Don't go any more than that. You don't need to torque them. Don't need to do none of that. It's a super small bolt. It's not like gonna be life or death. You just tighten it, hand tight, and give it like a little nothing crazy, because you will snap that shit. gonna be a bitch and a half trying to get it out of that turbo, because then you're gonna have to take that turbo out. So just be nice with it. I wouldn't assemble nothing yet. I would just leave it like that so you don't bump that inlet, and just let it cure the gasket. Once it's cured, you just reverse the process. And to put that spacer on, since it's non-magnetic, you can't really hold it nowhere. What I did is I grabbed the spacer with this, set it in there, and I had it hold like that, right? You can kind of do something like that and it will hold in place. Or you can use your other hand to hold it while you push the compressor back, and you slide the bolt in there and you kind of just hand it a little bit. And once it's in like that, you go underneath the car and then you tighten it down. Once you have the bolt in those threads, you don't need this anymore. But this will 100% help you. And it's got to be this double joint, because you can open it all the way like that, because it's a pretty wide spacer, so you can hold it like that. When this installed, this shit that I'm saying will make more sense. It kind of looks stupid without having everything off and actually doing it. I wish I had the video still, but if you're doing it, this will help, like kind of point you in the direction you need to go. So for this side, I try to beat around the horse without taking the compressor off. Just fucking take it off. It took me like hours and hours and hours trying to get this inlet off, and then I pushed that compressor forward doing the method I just said. Boom. Was done within like 20 minutes. In my opinion, this side is a lot more difficult just because that spacer can kind of be annoying. Shout out to Nito Built. He's on Instagram. He gave me the tip when I was doing it for going underneath the car like that. So shout out to him for that tip. That was clutch. This side's way easier. So Fatal Garage on YouTube, look up his flex fuel sensor video. The steps to take off this, this whole ordeal. Once you take off all that, stop watching unless you're doing a flex sensor. But take all this off. There's an ECU box underneath this. It's a 10 mil bolt here and a 10 mil bolt like down in here somewhere. I think it's like right down here. Super easy to hit once you have all this off. It's the ECU is held on by clips. You just clip it, pull it out. You pull off the clips on it obviously first, then you pull the ECU itself out. Set it somewhere nice, and then move that black box it sits in up like this. And then you can see the frame of the car, like the body, not the frame, the body. It just gives you a little bit more room. You're not scraping your wrist. You do not, if you have a Caddy Issues kit, you do not have to take this off. All you gotta do, there's a bolt on this vacuum pump right here. When you're down in there, if you have a catch can, I'd advise taking that off just to give yourself a little room. You just have to take that little bolt out, pull the can off. You don't gotta take off the mount hardware. But on this pump right here, there's a 10 mil bolt on this side on the bracket. Easy as shit to get to. Take it off. You don't need to torque that. It's nothing crazy. It's off. You move the pump over. This is going to be a little bit more harder to explain because it looks crazy, but I promise you this side is so easy. Easier than driver's side. Your alternator is down in here, right? Underneath all this mess. All you do is there's a bolt on top right here of the alt. You'll see it immediately once you have all this off. Take that bolt off, or actually leave that bolt last. Do not take that top bolt off yet. Do the two bottom bolts. You can't, I think you can see this one, but you can't see the back one, but you can feel it with your hands and you have so much space. You can literally get the socket wrench on there easily. It's like no struggle. Get it on there, on that bolt, take that bolt off, take this bolt off, then take the top bolt off. So it's not, but like you take off this top one first, it's gonna hang like this, and it's gonna be kind of harder to get those bolts. If you do the bottoms, it'll stay more in place, and take the top one off since it's easiest access. Here's loose, right? Pull it forward. No shit, you can fit like 2 fucking full arms in this thing once you have that off. You can see it. Take the inlet bolts off, pull inlet off, new inlet on with the gasket maker on the inlet, put the bolts in, let it cure. So it's cured. Reverse the steps. When you're putting the alternator on, put the top bolt on, then the bottom two. I don't remember the torque spec, but it's online. I use ChatGPT as well if I couldn't find it, because it'll search the whole web usually for you. You can fit a torque wrench on every single one of the major bolts that you need. Like inlet bolts, you don't need a torque. You don't need to torque that vacuum pump bolt. It literally is just a bracket that holds the pump in place. It's not like insane. So the only bolts I torqued were the ones on the AC compressor, obviously, and the alternator. That's it. I don't think I torqued anything else on here. Oh, well, obviously the bolts for the pan underneath. You gotta torque that back. Reverse the steps, put alternator back on, push it in there, But make sure the belt is on the alternator itself, because you'll probably lose it taking it off. Put all this shit back on there. Literally the exact opposite of taking it off, just reverse steps. Put everything back together, put the intakes back on, and boom, you're done. It's a lot easier said than done. I wish I had my videos to show you guys instead of kind of like pointing and telling you, but I'm kind of trying to make this video so you have like an idea of where to look and what to do and kind of understand it a little bit more. I know it's more of like me explaining. I'm trying to point at shit as best I can. I'm not gonna redo the inlet job just to make a video. Really wish I had the video still, but this side, in my opinion, is harder than this side, so I would start this side. Like, a lot of people make it seem worse than it is. I think this is not a hard job. Only real tool I'd highly recommend. Every other tool, it's kind of just like, you kind of just need like 10 mils and 15 mils, 13 mils. Various socket sizes, some extensions, maybe a swivel. Inspector turbos if you want. I checked the shaft play on them. They're pretty solid. Easy job. I don't think it was hard. And take your time. I blocked off like 5 days to do this. I used like 3 days, but that was me like doing a couple things, figuring stuff out, taking breaks. You know, you could, if you focus this job and do like kind of how I'm explaining it, you can do this shit in like two to 3 hours. I did it by myself. I had my homies here like kind of like chilling, but they didn't really do much to help me out. I kind of did all this myself. Nothing's heavy. Nothing's like you need another hand. It's not a hard job. If something doesn't make sense, go ahead and shoot me a comment on here and I'll try and explain it more. All right, guys, that's just going to be a small like walkthrough guide. I know it's not like a full install video. I had one, a few people got to see it, and then it got copyrighted, so it is what it is. Now that was one of my very first videos. I learned my mistake from that to not, delete my videos once I post it. Like I said, just shoot a comment if there's something that doesn't make sense, or if you're struggling with anything, and I'll try my best to help you guys out. All right, peace.